Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today the Eagles have done a trade with the Cleveland Browns, as the Cleveland Browns are trading for Kenny Pickett, and the Eagles are receiving a fifth-round pick and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. When it comes to the quarterbacks of this deal, I don't think it really matters. I mean, like, maybe for the Browns it does, but, like, that's not – I think when you're looking at the quarterbacks that these two teams are acquiring, I hate it for both teams, but – the reason I like the deal for the Eagles is you're able to trade a quarterback who they don't even really like anymore, since they are big fans of Tanner McKee now, and what he is, because the way he looked within the season and their last game of the season against the Giants, the way he looked in the Week 17 match against the Cowboys. They expect him to be the backup of the future now. So Kenny Pickett is just a third string to them at this point. And so with them expecting Tanner McKee to be the backup of the future to back up Jalen Hurts, Kenny Pickett's, he wouldn't have much of a role next season. And so you get a fifth rounder for him and get a new QB3 with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I do not like Dorian Thompson-Robinson at all. I think he's terrible. But the same thing, you can say the same thing with Kenny Pickett. But the fact, I think the highlight of this deal for the Eagles is that, if Kenny Pickett's was going to be the QB3 next season, because they really like Tanner McKee, then you just traded a QB3 who's bad, got a QB3 back for him who's maybe a little bit worse, but still a QB3, and got a fifth-round pick on top of that. That's why I love this deal for the Eagles. But, Kenny Pickett last season came into a game. Jalen Hurts got hurt early, like first, second quarter of the game. Kenny Pickett came into the game and threw 14 for 24, 143 passing yards, a passing touchdown, interception against the Commanders, and they lost that game. Mainly because of Pickett's interception. And so you look at when Pickett was playing, mainly they played good football because, they had Saquon Barkley. Like, for instance, that game against Washington when they lost 36-33, Jane Daniels had that amazing 5-passing touchdown game. Saquon had 150 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. The reason it was a close game after Hurts got injured was because of Saquon, not because of Kenny Pickett. Or you want to go to for instance, the Cowboys game is another, I think, good example. They had at the end of the season, which was week 17 against the Cowboys. Pickett started that game because Jalen Hurts had the concussion, and Pickett comes into the game and he threw 10 for 15, 143 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. Solid numbers, right? But, he's playing the Cowboys. Now, I think this is where they really started to like Tanner McKee, because he comes in and he throws 3 for 4, 54 passing yards, and 2 passing touchdowns. Now, the Eagles won this game 41-7. Now, this game was not won because of what Kenny Pickett did or even what Tanner McKee did. It was mainly Saquon Barkley in the run game for the Eagles that game. Barkley ran for 167 on the Cowboys. But yeah, and if you look at it, when Pickett came out of the ball game, it was 27-7 and 200 yards for Barkley. So, and then the last game of the season, Week 18 for the Eagles, when they're playing the Giants, they had Tanner McKee start that game, and he had a really good game. He threw for well over 200. It was first start of his career for Tanner McKee, and he goes in, wins the game. They win the game 20-13. And he throws 269 passing yards with 2 passing touchdowns and had a really good game. So I feel like he showed at the end of the season, at the end of the Week 17, Cowboys win, and the Eagles, the Eagles beating the Giants in Week 18. Tanner McKee showed that he is the better backup quarterback on this Eagles team, and that's why the Eagles are trading Kenny Pickett now. And so I don't think Dorian Thompson really matters here when we're going to talk about how Tanner McKee is the future backup quarterback for the the future backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. But let's just go to Dorian Thompson-Robinson. He started 2 games this year for the Browns. They went 0-2 in his 2 games, and he threw 440 passing yards in those. That's not including some of the games he played where he didn't start, because he played 7 games, only 2 starts. So in 7 games and 2 starts, 440 passing yards, no passing touchdowns, no touchdowns at all, 6 interceptions thrown. Then you want to go to what he did in his rookie year. Played 8 games, 3 starts, 1-2 when he started, 60 for 112, and he threw 440 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 4 interceptions. I mean, he is terrible. He's a solid rusher, which I think is something to mention. I mean, ran for 47 rushing yards this season, 16 his rookie season. He's quick on his feet, and that's one good thing to have. Especially, look, maybe that can make him more successful with the Eagles' offensive line. Browns' offensive line isn't as good as the Eagles, so maybe that makes him more of a dangerous runner if he were to ever come into a game. And look, it's definitely possible he can come into a game because, Jalen Hurts gets injured. Once we saw Kenny Pickett play last year, once Hurts got injured, you saw Tanner McKee, the QB3 that no one would have thought would have played, started to play. Got a start in Week 18. Got to play late in Week 17's matchup. So an injury can shake up anything. Do not want Hurts to get injured, but I'm just saying. Thompson-Robinson, who did any of us think that Tanner McKee would be, getting some solid playing time? I think we all thought that, if Hurts were to go down, it'd be Kenny Pickett. But, I don't think really anyone was thinking, okay, but if Pickett goes down too. Yeah, so Dorian Thompson-Robinson, you never know, could need him at some point, and if he does, I think him as a rusher, that could be interesting, and him throwing the football to a guy like Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, that's another thing, and handing the ball out to Saquon Barkley. You can still win a game with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. It just depends on, I'll say this, it just depends on what team you're playing with. What team you're playing against. But I still don't really believe in him as a quarterback. As of Kenny Pickett, I don't believe in him either. And I don't know what the Browns are doing with this deal at all, just to be honest. You give up a 5th-round pick and a terrible quarterback for another terrible quarterback. If you're the Browns, you're probably thinking about drafting a quarterback. And I've always said that, when you draft a quarterback, you want that quarterback to come in and have a vet next to them. I was expecting the Browns to go after guys like Marcus Mariota and Carson Wentz, who they were linked to signing. I thought those guys are better candidates because, they have more experience. If Cleveland drafts Cam Ward number 2 overall, right, and they bring him in, what is Kenny Pickett going to teach him? Kenny Pickett's been in the league not very long himself. So, he's only been in the league three seasons. So, and one of them wasn't even a starter. So, what is he going to teach a young Cam Ward? Meanwhile, you got guys like Carson Wentz and Marcus Mariota, who have been around the league for a long time, would be great veteran leaders for a guy like Cam Ward if the Browns were to draft him. Let me know your thoughts on the Browns trading for Kenny Pickett in the comment section, and peace out.